So today, let's have a look at project files for Gill Sans, one of our most iconic typefaces. Take a look at how it actually developed internally over the years. Probably goes up as late as the Phototype era. This contains correspondence, proofs, memos about things that were done, and notes saying that things were approved. So it gives us a good background of how it came to be. I need to go into the Gill Sans project file today to check some notes and maybe take some pictures for a talk that I'm going to give. But since we have visiting the office today two Typeface Design students from the University of Reading, I thought it would be cool to see what they think of this kind of internal material that the public never sees. So here's a whole bunch of assorted Gill Sans folder.
There are many behind-the-scenes things that we don't even think about today in the digital age, like the arrangement of the characters in the metrics box, and we don't really think about it. It's just in the glyphs panel and we can find our way, but...
Yeah, exactly, but no one had to have a meeting about how to sort the order the letters went into.
Or that it actually made a difference if it wasn't ordered in the right or a convenient way for someone.
Yeah. It's funny when you do read about how things were done and you trace these decisions about why they were done a certain way, it really can click in your head that you've been taking it for granted all along. And sometimes those discussions actually reinforce that it was a good idea and you should do it, but I love those moments where it's like, oh, that's just a bad habit. It can be really fresh and new, can't it?
This is nice, and it's actually things that we can really see these days coming back.
Oh yeah.
People are starting to do these typefaces, and...
Yes, indeed they are. I really enjoy the archaeology of a typeface when going through these folders and sort of like figuring out the layers of how it built up over time and added out. Because those are the things that, once they were decided on and approved, that's what's carried over to the versions we have today.
That's true.
But they arose out of sentiment from different times. Well, the two of you are actually studying typeface design. You paid and made a commitment to stop what you were doing and come and study, and I did the same thing for a while. Why did you do that instead of just starting to draw typeface? What was the value in going to learn about how it happened?
Because we're not learning how to design, we're learning how to make researches and have a background. So support our design with something that is not just, I'm drawing this because it's nice or because it's the style of the moment, but I'm drawing this because I think there's this specific need, as can be the Indian scripts.
So we're getting a lot more guidance and feedback about, rather than our curve is this way or that way, is more receiving the tools of good research and the question.
The curve is like that.
And
yeah.
how if this curve could even be possible in a certain script, or is it something that's not loyal to the truth structure of the script, and receiving these tools for research. I mean, I'm getting a lot the question of I'm designing an Amharic typeface for Ethiopic language, and people are asking me how can you design it if you can't read it, and this is the thing I think we're learning. We have to really give good reasons why I did this curve and not that. And this is the research that we're doing.
There's a lot of personality that you get by them changing slightly from one version to another. Gill Sans is an example because it's almost crazy how much it changes from one weight to another. In some ways, that gives you a richer palette than having just a slightly heavier version from one face to another. It makes it suitable for different kinds of work.
I think these are really treasures for us just to dive into and start reading and realize that there is a story behind this. I was just thinking about it in the Hebrew. You start reading, you figure out that there are people involved, politics, dynamics that aren't exactly related to the design of the curve, but there is a whole story behind things.